everyone, today we're going to be doing something cool and a fun video. So Godox recently released a new set of flashes, the Godox Lux. So today we're going to be using them for portrait shoot and see how they perform. First, let's take a look at the Godox Lux Senior. I'm gonna have to show you straight away how it looks when you open it because it looks so cool. Open it up like this and you pop out the light bulb, the teeny tiny light bulb. It's so cute. And you round it up like that. Like a tiny satellite dish to contact a different planet, but this is like its own beauty dish, which is so cool. Look at that. We're also going to be using this as a prop because it looks so retro, and we have it on our Fed 5B, which is the Olympic edition camera. This is a film camera just for props. So this one right here is the Godox Lux Junior, and I am pairing this one with the Yashica Electro 35cc just for props. You can see they match the color. It's very retro. So let's go a bit on the technical part. So this one has a guide number 14, this one guide number 12. It's not much difference. The Godox Lux Senior has a built-in battery which you can charge using a USB-C. So at one charge you can shoot 150 images with this at full power. And with the Godox Lux with the Godox Lux Junior, you need two AAA batteries with this. So if you want to shoot for longer, of course you're gonna have to bring extra batteries with you, which is pretty cool. As you can see, this only has a center pin, so it doesn't communicate with your camera, so you can't use this on TTL, but there's actually an auto mode which sets your light power to a default of f2.8 and ISO 100, which is written on the dial right here. But if you have these kind of flashes, you gotta have to use them on manual because that is where the fun begins. As you can see, they both have the same dial, the same size, and they work the same way. So it's pretty straightforward to use this one. So the yellow one is your ISO, and it has your meter here, which is your light to subject distance. You've got your aperture and your light power. So for example, I am shooting my subject which is 1 meter away from me, and I'm at ISO 100. So I'm just gonna line the 1 meter to ISO 100, and if I'm shooting at f2.8, I'm just gonna line them up, and this will give me 1/16 of a power. It's really cool because it's like a cheat. You cannot make any mistake. It's right there. For today's shoot, I'm gonna be using my Sony a7R III with the Samyang 50mm f1.4 Mark II, because we all know 50mm is a retro focal length. Of course, I'm not gonna be using these two because these two are film cameras. So now I'm ready to meet our model, which is Abby. Now we're ready to start our photo shoot. So to match all this retro feeling, I have my model dressed very retro as well, and we are gonna use the Lux Senior as our prop right here. And I'm gonna first be using the Godox Lux Junior right here. So let's start shooting. I'm gonna be using this one right here on our first location because it looks really retro, as you can see. So shall we start? I'm gonna shoot from here. Yeah. You can hold it like this or like this, however you feel. When you see it flash, you can see that I've shot the photo. Yeah. Okay. So since everything is manual, I'm gonna have to have a look on how far I am with my subject and base it on the dial right here. So I think I'm about 3 meters away from her, and I'm at ISO 100, and I want to shoot at f2.8. So I have to shoot at 1.2 for power. Okay. It's so windy. I'm gonna do a close-up shot now, so because of this, I'm now having to set my flash power again based on my light to subject distance. So this would be about 1 meter. I'm still at ISO 100, so I'm gonna set that 1 meter, ISO 100, and I want to shoot at f2.8. So that means I have to shoot at 1/16 of a power. 1, 2, 3. Let's see that. Oh my god, I love these photos. It's so cool. It works well with everything. It looks like just really like a retro flash, but actually that thing really works. You know, I'm gonna use that for later. But what you have to understand is this thing is basically as a fashion statement, more for like aesthetics. It's not really something you use for like photography work, but it's something you really want to have. It's so cute, look at that. Okay, now I'm gonna use the bigger one this time. We're gonna be swapping and then change also the camera prop that we have to a different one. So we need to swap. I'm gonna have to take it off from my bag. So now I'm gonna be using the Godox Lux Senior, and it looks kind of strange to put it on this generation camera. I mean, look at that. And we're also gonna be using the Godox Lux Junior right here because it's kind of like an 80s style. So we changed the camera prop for it as well. We have the Yashica rangefinder right here, and we're gonna be changing location as well to change the look completely. So let's go. So now we've changed our location. As you can see, we have her sitting right here by the table, and I have the Godox Lux Senior in my camera. So take a note that it has kind of its own beauty dish right here, and because of that, it will create a more softer light. And in this situation, this is the perfect time for you to use a fill light because you can see it's really bright in the background, and she's kind of in the shadowy part. So, because shutter speed controls the ambient light, I'm gonna set my shutter speed on the lighter background and use my light to just fill a little bit. You don't need to go full power, but just a little bit so you can brighten up the subject as well. So I'm gonna do that one. I'm not really good with we should have a measuring tape to really measure everything properly. Oh, it's fun. So you may pass. Okay, that's about 1 meter. All right. So the dial is the same as the Lux Junior as well. So it works the same thing. They look the same, as I've said. So for this, I'm just gonna use this as a fill light, as I've said, because she's a bit in the shadow. So I would measure this is like 1 meter, light to subject distance. So I'm at ISO 100, I'm gonna set it at 1 meter. And it's more like 2? Oh, okay, then. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do it at 1.5 then at ISO 100, and I'm gonna shoot at f2.8. So this is giving me at 1/8 of a power. So let me see how that's going to look like. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Since I'm limited to my flash sync speed, which is 1/250, and shutter speed controls ambience, so I'm gonna have to bump up my aperture, and aperture controls flash. So with this, because of this, I'm gonna have to higher my flash power, and you won't have to really think, oh, what should be my flash power, because it's right there. You have a cheat right there, which is pretty cool. It's really teaching you how to use light. All right, so for that, I'm gonna be shooting at f5.6 because that's the correct exposure of my background, and I'm still at ISO 100, and I'm 1.5 meter away from her. So f5.6, that will give me at least 1/4 of a power, my flash. And when you change flash power, make sure you trigger it first. So then we'll trigger that and start shooting. So at first I was at 1/4 of a power, and I see that my flash power is a bit too strong, so I'm gonna lower it a little bit because the purpose of this is just to fill in the light, not to entirely remove the shadow, but just to brighten up a bit because she's a bit in the dark side. So I'm gonna do my power at 1/8, and I'm gonna retain the same aperture, which is f5.6, and I'm still at 1/250. So let's shoot that. There we go. So both flashes coverage is down to 28 millimeter, and we're gonna push it to its limit. So for this one, I'm gonna be using an ultra wide angle lens, which is the Samyang XP 14mm f2.4. So let's do that and do a really wide shots, really cool shots, maybe make her jump. Yes, yeah, oh, she's up for it. So let's do that. Now I have the 14mm on my camera, and I'm gonna be using the Godox Lux Junior for this one. The downside of this one is because it's a rechargeable one, then it loses power and then you have to, like, you know, charge it again. But with this one, you can bring unlimited extra battery with you if you like. And anyway, this is a better prop for this photo, and it looks much better. So we're gonna be using this one for a prop and this one for a light. So let's see how it will look with a ultra wide angle lens and using this flash. Now I'm gonna show you the difference with using the flash and without using the flash. So first I'm gonna do width. I'm at f8 at 160 and I'm at full power in this one. Now I'm gonna switch it off and retain the same setting. There you go, you can see. There's a difference, it fills the lights in, and I have a correct exposure on my sky, which I like for the details. So you can also use flash to freeze motion. So if you're in a situation, for example, like this one, where you need to use a lower shutter speed because of the ambience. So right now I'm at 150 and I'm shooting at f4, and I'm gonna be using my flash to freeze her because she's gonna do a jumping shot. So let's try and do that one with this. About 3 meters. ISO 100 at f4. Ready? 1, 2, 3, jump. There we go. I actually love it. So you can see that she froze in motion, but some parts of like her legs is a bit motion blur, which gives a bit of dynamic, a bit of touch, a bit of artsy thing on it, which I really love. And there you go, that's how you can use this flash for that matter. So I'm gonna test this flash coverage. I'm gonna use this wall because it's a bit in the dark. I'm making sure that this flash will really do its job. So I'm shooting at, again, the ultra wide angle lens, 14mm. I'm at 115 f2.8. So cool. So as you can see, that she looks like she's in the spotlight, but because this flash is a bit low, you can see that the lens hood is casting a shadow. But I'm going to use the other one, which is the Lux Senior, and hopefully that won't cast a shadow because that's a bit higher. So let me switch with that one. Now I've switched my flash to the Lux Senior. So I'm going to be in the same setting as the Lux Junior. So let's take a shot. So as you can see, because it's a bit higher, the lens hood doesn't cast a shadow, and because of its beauty dish right there, the really nice one, it's a bit more even light, and it's not a strong vignetting as the Lux Junior gives us. Now we are done with our portrait shoot, and as you can see, this is not only like a fashion statement because they look so cool, and so a lot of people are actually looking at this one because it looks so cute. They also create really nice, fun portraits as well. So with this one, because it has its own beauty dish, this one creates a softer light compared to this one. Because this has a smaller surface, so it creates harsher lights, but because it's low profile, it has less shadow, just like using a ring light. So if you want to grab one, we have the link in the description box. This is so fun to use because it's full manual right here. It really helps you how to control the light properly, and that's just the fun of it. This is not the light that you need, but this is the flash that you want, and I'm sure you are going to enjoy this one as much as I did. So please don't forget to subscribe, and please follow her on her Instagram account somewhere here on the screen. I'll see you guys on our next video. Bye bye. Please tell me that's okay.
That sounded good
Yeah,
to
that was
me.
fine.
Yes.
You can finally have a wait.
I can finally have a pint or a full bottle of wine.